Welcome, marvelous makers,
and art appreciators,
to the ArtSpace podcast,
brought to you by Lemon Street Gallery and ArtSpace,
located at 4601 Sheridan Road.
Swing on in
Yes.
to your favorite citrus-themed art gallery early and often. Do it a lot. It's great. We love to see your smiling faces or your frowning faces.
Oh, and we'll turn that frown upside down.
Oh, you got it.
Uh-huh.
I love it. Synergy here.
Yes. And I'm your host, Shelby Nesmith.
And I'm Jake Hoy.
And today we are with the wonderful, I'd say kind of graffiti artist, stencil artist, Korye Champion.
Hi.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us, Corey.
Thank you for having me.
So just how have you been? Just a little check-in.
Not bad. I can't complain.
Oh, that's good.
How about you guys?
You've been stocking the box. Oh my goodness.
We're jumping right into it.
Yeah, I gotta say it. You've been stocking the Lemon Street, the little Lemon Street Gallery.
Yeah, I've been trying to make that a thing.
I love
I will say I do love, people have come up to me and used the phrase stock the box, and that makes me happy.
It rolls off the tongue more than frequently patronizing the little Lemon Street Gallery.
So I'm pretty excited that I'm making that a thing. So I know a lot of people didn't know that it existed.
Mm-hmm.
I myself didn't know it existed until probably this summer. I think it's super cool.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are now stocking that box.
I know.
We can't keep it full now.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
gnarly.
So if any artist out there is listening, please fill that thing up because I'm sending people there.
And we like to tell people, if you're going to take something, put something back, you know, and not just a rock you found on the street that looks like Abraham Lincoln's nose.
I want that rock.
That's a very specific thing. Okay, maybe if it looks like Abraham Lincoln's nose, but not just any rock.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, we love the little Lemon Street Art Gallery in Union Park. It's only been installed for a couple of months, after all. I think it was the spring.
Roughly a year, yeah.
okay.
Well,
I think
it's been installed for a year. I think it got installed in like April or so.
Oh, it was April.
Listen back to the Missy episode from 2 weeks ago. I think we talk
She-
about it and she knows.
Yes, because our wonderful Missy put that together. She orchestrated all that. So person that does our social media was like, hey, I saw this on the internet during COVID, and why not make one here? So
Yeah,
she started it.
I've put a video on TikTok, and a lot of people are jealous they don't have one.
Oh,
It's
They
very
should
cool.
make one.
Yeah.
You know, this doesn't have to be a unique thing. And like the little free libraries we see everywhere now.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah,
it can become just as ubiquitous.
yes,
yeah.
make little free art galleries. Do it.
Do it. It's
So,
fun.
I
but
support
yeah,
it.
yes, definitely, and we love your support and the visibility that you're giving to it. So,
Yeah,
yes.
like I said, I'm trying to make it a thing.
well, with your beautiful hashtag, I think it's working.
Stock
so.
the box.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, going off of your work that you do, I say it's graffiti styled because it's kind of got that feeling and
Yeah.
texture. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, so okay, technically graffiti is like letters and stuff like
Oh,
that.
okay.
Oh, I
So
didn't know that.
yeah, it's weird. It's like street art. Okay. Okay, graffiti is a part of street art, but street art is not graffiti.
I
Gotcha.
So it's
see.
one of those like
Yeah.
technical things.
Ah.
So yeah, like street art would be like stencils, posters, stickers,
Mhm.
and it includes graffiti, but graffiti is its own little box. Like so yeah.
Oh. So yeah, and like doing the customized lettering and stuff and that all
Yeah.
that whole technique. Okay, I didn't realize.
Yeah,
it was...
and that's a lot more complicated than what I do. Like,
Is it
yeah.
exclusively spray paint? Or is there street art that's not spray paint?
Oh no, there is street art that uses posters, like just printed posters, and they wheat paste them on.
Oh,
Okay.
Gotcha.
Stickers.
We love the sticker stuff.
Yeah, stickers is probably the easiest way of
Slap
street
'em.
art. Yeah. you just, I've also seen people use like just paint, like house paint, and you
Okay.
could use it with a roller. That goes into more graffiti though.
Okay.
That's what I'm like. It's very like technical, you know.
Where does it
No.
land? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if we properly explained the dynamic here, but Shelby is an artist by background and practice, and I am not. I am on the board here at Lemon Street, and I'm a volunteer, and I'm an art appreciator, and she
Okay.
is a marvelous maker.
Oh.
Okay.
So that's why I ask the dumb questions.
Oh
like,
no, it's not dumb.
is it only spray paint?
No.
And-
No. I don't think this is very like common knowledge of people. Like I feel like graffiti and street art it's kind of a new art genre.
Right.
Yeah.
Like graffiti started in like the 60s and 70s and it's mutated. Like street art, I don't even know. Like I feel like street art maybe more in the 80s and 90s.
Okay.
But yeah, like
And they've had their emerging and
Yeah,
separation.
so it's not as
Yeah.
old as other art forms. I mean, if you want to be like cave paintings as
Well-
graffiti or whatever. I mean, yeah.
I mean,
Go
it
for
pretty
it.
much is.
Yeah.
Did they have permission to draw
yeah,
on
you
that
know what I mean.
cave?
So I'm like,
Anarchy.
That was Grog's cave, not Og's cave.
Yeah.
Anarchy.
So,
Love
yeah.
it. Um,
I like to think that cave art is like political satire and stuff. Like
my
might
goodness,
be. I mean,
yes.
I don't.
Krunk is got too much power. He's a tyrant. We need to overthrow Krunk
yeah.
and
defile.
install Grog.
Yes.
I mean, it might be. It might be.
Love that. I love that.
Sorry, it was one of
No,
those
no.
tangents
Like,
that
don't blame me. I voted for Grog.
Yeah.
Grog is not my fling vlog. They didn't call him presidents back then.
Oh my gosh. So getting back on track here.
Oh, is there a
Yeah.
track?
No, no. We are both, all of us are off the rails, and that's fine. But what would you say got you into art?
I actually don't really know. I feel like I probably have cartoons and comic books to blame.
Mhm.
As far as I remember, I was always interested in that.
Mhm.
Like as a kid, I don't think I recognize it as art, but it definitely is. I mean, but yeah, like cartoons and comic books just felt very like constant in my life. Like I was an adult watching cartoons and reading comic books. I mean, the comic books I read as an adult were very different, but yeah, I would think that started the obsession with art.
And creating.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I can kind of see that because you pull a lot of references from pop culture. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. From pop culture. So you got inspired by kind of the things around you.
Yeah.
What you were viewing
Yeah.
and consuming. So
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not the kind of artist that will look at nature. I mean, I appreciate nature, but I don't paint nature.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's weird. Like comic books and cartoons, and it just doesn't seem like something that would inspire an artist. I
Yeah.
mean, maybe
we
I
get
don't
that
know.
we get that
Or
answer
maybe
pretty
a cartoon
commonly.
or a comic book artist, but yeah,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
what I'm doing. Like
Yeah, definitely. Because you have more of a graphic style too. So I
yeah,
see where those kind of align, and I think it makes sense.
and I think
Yeah.
it probably like the colors and
Yes.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it.
Yeah, I feel like we've had a few guests maybe that say cartoons. I definitely remember talking about
Okay,
cartoons
cool.
with a
Yes,
few
you're
guys.
not you're not
Like,
the only one saying
We
cartoons.
were who do we talk about? Powerpuff Girls, not Powderpuff Girls.
No,
That was that Dire Need Zine
I
maybe
can't remember. Was that
or
Aaliyah?
Kelly? Maybe Aaliyah. Yeah,
I think it was.
but like
Aaliyah
Kelly
Jackson.
Whitty is a very.
It was
It
Kelly.
might have been Kelly.
It
yeah.
was Kelly.
Yeah.
Dang.
So
She's got colorful graphic styles similar to
Yeah,
yours,
she
but
does the flowers. and-
yeah,
yes.
and she does it with like her printmaking. She'll always have like a hard outline similar to like what you create with your stenciling. So I love it. You guys kind of give a similar feel, but you go different ways of achieving
Yeah.
it.
very
so
much so. Yeah,
love when we see that.
both awesome.
Yes, and colorful. I love colors. Um,
So going off of the like early looks into your art experience, let's say, what were some of your early art memories that spring to mind?
Okay, so I do remember, I think it was maybe third grade. I got in trouble for
Ooh.
drawing on my assignments, and the teacher had to tell my mom to get me notebooks
Oh.
because she was apparently not an art appreciator.
No.
Should have listened to the podcast.
Oh.
Yeah,
Man.
so that I think that might have started my artistic troublemaking, I guess. Like doing things with art that I shouldn't be doing.
Well,
But,
maybe you should, but you're not
yeah.
allowed to.
Yeah.
And that restriction fueled you.
Yeah. So, yeah, I had to get notebooks. My mom got me some notebooks and I drew in those instead of on my assignments.
Aw.
Oh.
Yeah. But it didn't stop me from doing whatever I wanted artistically.
Oh, well, good.
Yeah.
Good,
How are you
good.
going to know where the boundary is if you don't push it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like, yeah. But yeah, I do remember that being kind of funny, like getting in trouble for being an
Doodling.
artist. You know?
This is great, but don't do this.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Mixed signals.
yeah, I was like, okay,
I guess I'll doodle here.
like, but what you're teaching me is kind of boring.
But I like
Maybe
doodling.
this is more of a you problem.
Yeah, yeah.
If we could have talked to our teachers the way we think now,
Oh
it
boy.
would be a different. Not that I encourage talking back to teachers, all students out there.
Yeah.
Teachers are valuable. We love them,
Love you.
cherish them,
Yes. Be nice to them.
Yes,
but doodle on your homework.
Yeah.
yes, always.
So, and if they got a problem, bring them to the ArtSpace podcast, and
Yeah.
we'll let them know.
We'll have a talking to,
Yes.
a round table.
Doodles are okay.
Yeah.
So, who would you say, or who or what influenced your art?
My
Would you
art.
say?
The easiest answer. There's two people. First, Andy Warhol.
Mhm.
Andy Warhol changed my mind on what art was. I honestly I wasn't really into art as like a serious thing. I was like drawing
Mhm.
here and there, and I was into comic books and cartoons, but I wasn't really like thinking about being like a serious artist.
Mhm.
And then I saw Andy Warhol. I went to like a Chicago art museum, and yeah, just what he had was just so different than like other artists, like other classic artists. And like I didn't really fully understand why like a painting of like a toy robot was art, but I really liked it. And I
Aw.
really liked the colors, or like a skull, or like Marilyn Monroe,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
Elizabeth Taylor, or like the soup cans, like
Mhm.
giant cardboard Brillo boxes that were
Mhm.
like, it was like everyday things that were just put into an art museum and looked at differently. And I was like, that is just amazing to me. And I think that was that turning point that I really needed to be like, look at art differently.
Mhm.
And yeah, and then the other person that was life changing, I would say, Shepard Fairey. He does the Obey Giant street art campaign.
Yes.
He does nowadays. He does giant murals on buildings. But yeah, he started out doing stickers and posters, wheat pasting posters in places that you're not supposed to put them.
Mhm.
But it was very, that guerrilla style art thing.
Mhm.
And famously, I think a lot of people probably recognized who he was by doing that Obama Hope poster.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was probably his mainstream. I mean, he was kind of mainstream before that, but I think people knew who he was after that.
Right. Was the obey thing was very big too.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
th-
yeah, yeah.
Is that also related to like the Andre the Giant
Yeah.
thing?
So
yeah.
it's the icon, the face is Andre the Giant.
Mhm.
He started out just as like a skateboard graphic designer.
Okay.
And that was the Obey Giant was just kind of a joke.
Mhm.
The the interesting thing about him is his backup. He had two designs when he designed the Andre the Giant, but he also did one with the Gerber baby with the
Oh.
mohawk, and that was like scrapped. So it's like weird to think that would be
Could have been
Yeah.
the Gerber baby.
could have been the Gerber baby.
Alternate reality.
Yeah. But yeah, now like
Wow.
Shepard Fairey, like he does stencils and just very simple like stencil, like how I do it,
Mhm.
of a lot of celebrities and stuff. And he also works with punk bands, and like he is a giant influence on what I do. I feel like my art like mirrors his a little bit, but not where I'm copying him.
Right.
But if someone compared me to Andy Warhol or Shepard Fairey, I couldn't deny it.
Yeah.
You know, like I couldn't be like, you got me.
They're
Like,
my art gods. So
Yeah.
yes.
like, yeah. So those two, they definitely were the most important people for me to discover. Um, I just don't think I would be doing what I do without their influence. Um, because when I think of art, I think of like Van Gogh or, you know,
Mhm.
Michelangelo and stuff. It's kind of, I appreciate it, but it's for me, it's kind of boring.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like I've seen it a million times.
Mhm.
Very one note.
Yeah, and but I'm not all like obviously we've learned a lot from what they did,
Yeah.
you know,
Mhm,
and
yeah.
they were so long ago. And I'm
Mhm.
not gonna, you know, but yeah, like I said, Andy Warhol just was doing weird things like artistically, not weird, but he was very left when
Yeah.
everybody
Oh,
was here, you know, and like
Mhm.
he did his own thing and he did it really well
Mhm.
and changed the world. And yeah, I love him and
Uh-huh.
Shepard Fairey.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The
I
two
lo-
main
I was
guys.
gonna
Yeah.
say when you were talking about Andy Warhol, I kind of thought like when you look at like a Rembrandt or something, you're like, yeah, that's amazing, and you're technically a little bit amazed, but you look at a Warhol and you're like just drawn to it.
Yeah.
It's like you keep looking back at it. You know, you
Yeah.
keep. I find myself at least
Yeah.
in like you're not sitting there going, wow, how did he do that? Maybe, but
Yeah.
you're thinking, wow, that's really engaging,
Yeah.
and in a way that a painting of a lady from 1720 maybe isn't,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
It's that switch from technical, um, kind of looking at it at a technical standpoint, and then having more of a deeper um, kind of uh, conception to it, and then more than a technical.
Yeah.
So it keeps bringing you back for different reasons. So
Like
conceptually versus
I don't deal with old sailboats that often in my everyday life, but I've held a can of Campbell's soup
Yeah.
before,
Yeah.
so I know what that is, and I don't know, maybe something there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I feel like those types of art, like in those type of artists are very like conversation starters because it's like,
Mhm.
why do you have a soup can framed in your house?
Right.
You know, like
Why not?
you know, it's not about like what does this painting mean? It's like why do you have that?
Mhm.
Yes.
You know? And for some people, what I've learned is by doing my pop art is like I think people have emotional attachments to certain things. Like if somebody wanted a painting of like Elizabeth Taylor or Marilyn Monroe or something, they have like some memory. Like my mom loves Marilyn Monroe,
Mhm.
so I will always associate that with my mom.
Mhm.
Right.
You know, so I think I've gotten a lot of stories from people
Mhm.
that are like, I love this person because it reminds me of my brother who passed away or something. And I'm like, that is so cool. It's like something I didn't realize I was doing with my own art. You know,
Oh.
I pick people that I like
Mhm.
Mhm.
and it's super cool. And I wonder what the connection with Andy Warhol and the soup cans. I'm sure I feel like he grew up poor and maybe the soup cans related to his life.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you
So,
wonder about that.
yeah,
And
so it's
that's
like pop art
Mhm.
on the surface looks very like not immature, but it's very like I don't know, like kind of like throwaway kind of. It's pop art, you know.
Mhm.
It's stuff you see. It's not like when people think of art, they want to have like some deep thought.
Mhm.
But I think with pop art, it's you look at it and you know exactly what it is,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and you don't have to. And I think that's what a lot of people like about pop art is you don't have to sit there and think deep thoughts.
You don't
Sometimes.
have to
Yeah.
cross your eyes
Yeah.
and tilt your head.
Yes.
It's like you know exactly how you feel when you see a painting of Marilyn Monroe.
Mhm.
And then the deep thoughts come in
Mhm.
later. But yeah, like I'm not going to talk bad about any form of
No.
art.
No.
But
No.
yeah,
Yeah.
but for me, I've learned that it's more emotional connection that you wouldn't I don't necessarily think about other people
Mhm.
and how they feel
Yeah.
about certain celebrities or whatever.
Mhm.
Like I do it all my paintings are done because I like the people or whatever.
Mhm.
And yeah, I've just learned that it's a really cool connection when other people like love the same stuff as you do.
Right. Yeah, and it's a way to share it with them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like when you sent over some pieces of yours for us to as we were preparing for
Mhm.
this interview, and then I saw the one with Notorious B.I.G., Tupac, and Eazy-E, and I'm a hip hop guy, so that one was really engaging to me. I'm like, oh, I love this.
Yeah.
So not that I didn't like the other ones, but
yeah, no,
yeah,
I know.
and I'm like, oh, I love that. So it's in each one kind of hits different people different,
Yeah.
and you probably don't. You're probably a little surprised when people come up to you and
Yes.
go, that one. And you're
Yes.
like, oh,
There are very surprising choices from people. Like I like sometimes look at them. I'm like, you want that one really? Like, for you or for your? Okay. I'm like, okay, cool.
All right.
And there are some that I'm like, nobody's gonna want this one, and then it'll sell, and I'm like, okay, cool. Like we get to talk about this celebrity that I thought nobody knew about.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's so cool.
the deep cuts hit.
Yeah.
Yes. Like I saw you post a Trixie and Katya one.
Yes.
I went, oh my gosh.
The biggest fangirl.
Oh
over here.
my gosh, when I saw that, I was just like, I didn't think anyone would make like locally make art of them, and it was just like this moment of like acknowledgement to my fandom, and it was like, whoa, I love this. So
Spoiler,
yes.
I do have Alaska planned and Bob the Drag Queen planned. I don't know when, but
Okay.
they will be happening.
Stock the box.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
those sound like big projects.
Yeah, those
Yeah,
won't be. No, those won't be the box.
Deservingly so.
But yeah, you hand carve, or not hand carve, but you hand do your stencils and everything.
Yes.
So they're all one of a kind, one-offs, kind of
Yes.
just.
Yes,
Ooh.
I it's one of the crazy things about me. I spend hours cutting these stencils and I use them once,
Mhm.
and before the painting is even sold, I throw away the stencil. So it's like,
Don't think about it. Just go.
yeah, like, yeah. I know it's completely insane.
No.
Like I spend like so many hours cutting and cutting and cutting stencils just to do one painting,
Mhm.
and then that's it. So I've compared it to the Tibetan monks that do the sand mandalas.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm like, if I think of it that way, it's less crazy.
Right.
I'm like they could do beautiful things and then sweep it up.
And then there's nothing left.
Yeah, and then
Whereas you
there's
got
nothing.
something left.
Yeah. But see, I mean, once they're gone, like I don't.
They're sold. They're.
But yeah, right. True. It
I
leaves
do.
your
I
life.
do form emotional attachments to some of the paintings, and then like,
Oh, you're bye.
yeah.
Bye-bye.
But I'm like, you're living your best life.
Go, girl. Go.
So yeah, but yeah, all of the paintings are one of a kind. I don't normally, if it's a celebrity, I don't normally like redo them. I have made some exceptions.
Mhm.
I've done like 3 Elvira's.
Mm.
She's retired now.
Yes.
I
But
feel
those were
like-
beautiful.
I feel
saw
like
those.
the 3 is like my limit.
No more than 3.
Yeah. Like, but I don't want to like put that out there
Yeah,
because I'm
no.
like Elvira. I did over the course of like 3 paintings in maybe like 10 years.
Mhm.
So
Oh, wow. Okay.
yeah,
Got to get them while you can.
yeah.
Are you ever worried you're going to run out of celebrities?
No,
No. Good.
that is, yeah. I have so many, and people give me lists
Mhm.
of celebrities and stuff, and I'm like, that is very cute. My mind, I'm very
It's
obsessed with.
artful. Yeah.
I'm obsessed with pop culture. It is
Mhm.
my whole life, really. Like movies, I'm a movie person. Like
Mhm.
during Halloween, like October. Well, October is Halloween to me.
Yes.
I always see
Heck, even
people talk.
September.
It starts tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like,
October starts tomorrow.
I mean, yeah, but yeah, I do see people like talk about doing the 31 movies in October, and I'm like, I think I kept a list. Last year, I think I made it to 75 movies.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness. You're just like, those
Yeah.
those are beginners numbers. Get out of here. Get out of
So-
here.
Yeah. So like when I tell people I'm obsessed with pop culture, I'm like, I am never going to run out of people.
Mhm.
I feel like I might even be educating people. If they follow my page, I might be educating people on
Oh yeah.
celebrities.
sure.
I do
Definitely.
a lot of the deep cuts. I'm like,
Mhm.
you might not know who this person is, but there's somebody out there that is in love with them. Like I
Mhm.
just did Leslie Jordan, and that's another one I thought was not going to be I didn't think people would know. And like, yeah, it's
He blew
gone
up
already.
during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Ah, love him. Love
So
him.
yeah, I think it was like a 71-year-old lady owns that one now.
Oh,
Oh
wow.
my gosh. I love that. Love
Yeah,
that.
yeah. A friend of mine got that for her mother's birthday. I was like,
Aw,
yeah.
cute.
So yeah, I don't think I will ever run out of celebrities or pop culture musicians. Like, yeah,
Pulling left and right.
that's good.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
How
Ever-
many X-Acto blades do you think you've gone through?
Ooh.
That
I
is a
was-
question. Well,
Because I can't imagine.
Is that the primary tool of choice for stencil
Yes.
making? Yeah.
So it's just like an angled blade with a
Yeah.
handle. And so, yeah.
just this weekend, I've replaced my blade like 3 times.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
So through your art career, it's probably a good
Hundreds?
Oh, a
chunk
lot.
that-
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I mean
Triple digits?
last year
Yeah.
I bought a 100 pack, and I think that lasted me 7 or 8 months.
Okay.
So it's
Okay.
not too bad.
Buy in bulk.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, I do burn through those all really fast.
Yeah, because like, why strain your hand? Just get a new one. I guess.
Yes. Like those blades get dull, the tips will break off.
Yeah.
It's very frustrating. Like it's very, very frustrating.
Well, I'm glad you keep on going. Nothing's gonna stop you. Nothing's
let
gonna
that
slow
get
you
to you.
down.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. We got another question here for you. Touched on this a bit already, but we can see if you can find some more. We're wondering what are some of your favorite artists and maybe even local artists. So,
Yeah, favorite artist. Yeah, Andy Warhol, Shepard Fairey,
Mhm.
Fail, who is 2 guys who do street art. Lady Aiko, she was a part of Fail. She like did her own. She's doing her own thing. Let's jump to the local.
Yeah, yeah.
Local artist, Shelly Johnson from Waukegan. He is, I don't want to say like street. He's like, his style is like street art, skateboard graphic style, but he reminds me of all of the downtown New York 80s artists. So like Andy Warhol, Basquiat, and Keith Haring all blended together. That
Ooh.
would be his style.
Cool.
But
High
also like
praise.
Yeah.
but also like mixed with like 90s skateboard graphics. He's a skater too.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, like I met him like 10 years ago, and like even back then I was like, you're my favorite artist. Like,
Oh.
and even now he's never disappointing. Like he works with the Dandelion Gallery in Waukegan.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah, dandelion. Yeah.
He does a lot of like the murals too. Like
Oh.
Waukegan has a lot of murals.
Yeah, I think.
So he's
yeah.
done a lot of those. He does a lot of murals, like independent murals for people, like companies.
Okay.
So yeah, if
Very
you
cool.
see really cool painted buildings, he probably did it. Like,
I'm going to have to take a drive through Waukegan.
Yeah.
and
What
then
a stroll.
of course Jill.
Aw.
I love Jill.
As we're sitting in a room filled with
yeah.
her art, she is the featured artist this month in the Brick Gallery.
She may have been here just mere minutes ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
Setting up said show.
Yeah. So I do love Jill and all of her spookiness, and
Mhm.
Spooky Jill. That's
Yes.
how
Yeah.
we call her.
I call her Jill Wazowski because I
Wazowski.
murdered her last name.
I
Sure,
love
she's
that.
used to that.
Yeah. So Jill
Jill
Wazowski.
Wazowski.
Yeah, I do love Jill's art. Very cool. You don't really see too many like spooky artists that are colorful.
Yeah.
So that is cool.
I love it.
Usually like when like they're in the horror, they stick with like black and gray and red. So
Yeah, neutrals and
Yeah.
yeah.
like Jill's awesome.
New listeners can look back through our feed and find the Jill episode. I don't know the
Yes.
number, so, but it's back there somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she's episode 5.
Okay, I could see that.
I'm willing to put money on it.
Wow. Wow.
Ooh.
Call out Shelby.
No, please don't. But I think it's 5. It always throws me off because my episode, I didn't really count it as an episode. So
Do we have it as 0? No, it counts as 1.
So it always throws
Yeah.
me off. So, but either
Our pilot
either way.
episode.
Yeah. But yeah, Jill, she does a lot of fun, creative stuff.
Yeah.
Plays with the feminine figure a lot, which I always love that. So
And very involved in the local art community.
yes, love you, Jill. I know you're listening right now.
She also popped up on our Kenosha Book Festival episode.
Yes. So she's always supporting. Love you.
Yes.
Alrighty, and we're gonna take a quick break.
And we are back.
Hi.
Thanks for staying with us. Second half of the Korye Champion episode.
Do-do-do.
Do-do.
Okay, so I didn't know.
We look at each other to see who's going to ask the next question, and I point at Shelby.
I don't want to step on toes. I'm sorry. Trying to be a good co-host.
I am wearing flip-flops, so be careful.
I know. You're crazy.
TMI.
No, just enough information. So what would you say your motivation to create comes from?
I don't think I have any motivate. Like there are times that I wake up, and I just start cutting a stencil.
Okay.
It's
Like out of habit?
yeah, I think so. My weekends, my body sometimes wakes me up at like 4:30 in the morning,
Ooh.
and I hate it. But
Yeah.
then I will start cutting a stencil by 5 o'clock, and I'm like barely awake. Like, and I just do that, and yeah. So like, I think it's at this point just kind of like an obsession,
Okay.
like maybe an OCD obsession type thing that I just have to do it. Sometimes I get a celebrity or a musician or whatever in my head, and I get really excited and I run with it, and I just have to do it.
Mhm.
Like, and I don't know why. Like, I want to like just write it down in a notebook and be like, I'll get to that.
Mhm.
But then like,
It eats away at you.
yeah,
I call it the brain worms. The brain
Yeah.
worms are
Ooh.
yeah,
Another
they get-
Shelbyism has
Yeah.
been coined.
The brain worms. They're screaming at you. They're
yeah.
telling you gotta do it.
I think any artist will probably tell you like some variation of it. I think it's just a thing that we have to do. Like it's just
It's part of my body.
yeah, it's just I have to. Like I can't do it tomorrow. I have to do it
Right.
right when I get the because sometimes tomorrow I'll be like, oh yeah, why did I have that idea? That's not good. Like
Are you
Yeah.
second guessing?
yeah. So yeah, that painting with Biggie and Tupac and Eazy-E, I designed that image like 10 years ago,
Wow.
and it sat on my computer. It sat on different like hard drives, different computers. It got passed around, and I didn't do it until I think this year or last year.
Oh.
And I felt so good when I got it done.
Ah.
But it was like one of those rare times that I didn't do a thing. Like
Oh.
I let it sit, and it sat for 10 years. So
That-
And you came back to it.
yeah, but I'm kind of like jealous of my past self that I could do that. But
Oh.
because like I don't, I mean, I do have some pictures ready. I do have a lot of people planned. Yeah, sometimes it's just I know when to jump and when to hold back.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. I can't explain it because I don't understand it
Yeah.
fully myself.
Right.
Yeah.
Just that artistic kind of feeling inside
Yeah.
you of like,
Yeah.
yeah, knowing when. So
Yeah.
oh.
Like
Just has to happen.
but I also
When the stars align.
like I can't just like sit still. I feel like I always have to be doing something. So there are times when I'm just doing a painting because I'm bored.
Yeah, that's fine.
But it ends up being cool, so it's okay. Like,
Yeah.
Productive.
Do you kind of have, speaking of timing and everything, I know you've done some abstract stuff recently. Is
Yeah.
there kind of a feeling when you're just like, I need to do an abstract right now instead of my stenciling?
So with the abstract, I have no idea what I'm doing with the abstract. I don't
They're beautiful.
Yeah, I don't understand if abstract artists go in with a plan,
Mhm.
or if an abstract artist could please message me and explain.
Yes.
'Cause I don't know. I just know I'm having fun. I do have a few abstract paintings I've started.
Mhm.
I don't like. I started a month ago,
Mhm.
and I work on them whenever.
Mhm.
Um, so those will be happening while I'm doing a bunch of different stencils, and I think
Okay.
when I started those, I think it was to give myself a little mental break
Okay.
because, uh, like last year, I think it was like 115 paintings.
Ooh, that's a lot.
It is a
Whoa.
lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah, because the year before that, I did 4.
Oh my
Like,
goodness. You said, I'm back in the
Yeah.
game.
So,
Buckle up,
yeah.
girls. We're going for a ride.
I think this year already I've gotten up to 80. And
Oh.
I'm like, yeah. So yeah, the abstract I think is just me taking a mental break because it's fun. It's very fun. I think any artist should just, or maybe not even an artist. I think anybody that's just wants to be an artist. I think paint pouring is really popular too, and that's like
Right.
that's like a form of abstract. Um, but yeah, abstract. Just painting whatever I feel. And I've watched a lot of videos on like Instagram, like the reels of abstract artists, and they'll have like a complete painting and then paint over it with, and I've done that too. And I was like, it is so freeing to
Mhm.
have a really cool abstract painting, walk away from it, and then paint over it because you don't like that anymore.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
realized that's how abstract painting works. And it's about a lot of textures and stuff. And
Mhm.
I'm like, I don't know if any abstract painter is ever finished with a painting because I'm like, how do you know? Like, I don't know.
Mhm.
Like the ones that I've finished, I'm like, is it done? Like, I don't know.
What's going on here? Yeah.
And yeah, but yeah, abstract painting is just really fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I do have a few more, but I don't know when.
But I love what you've posted. I love them.
Yeah.
They're you have a really good eye for color and balancing that color, and I think that's a strong point of abstract is balancing color and having a sense of movement, and you have that. So I
Yeah.
think they're wonderful.
Thank you.
I think they're done and pretty.
I will say, any abstract artist that is listening, mad respect because it's a lot harder than I thought.
Yeah, it's
On the outside, it looks like you just smeared some stuff and it looks cool, but
yeah.
it's not that.
No.
It is very much more complicated, and I really wish I knew a shortcut. Like,
And I hear comments like that, like you'll go to an art museum, people will be like, I could do that. And it's like, no, you can't. You can't. You can't just,
see, I'm the opposite. I mean, anybody that wants to do stenciling, I'm like, you
oh,
absolutely
yeah,
can.
that, yeah.
It's not fun, but you can. Like, you will be very frustrated once you realize it's a lot of patience and your
Mhm.
wrist will hurt and it's
Your fingers. Oh.
complicated. Yes, you can absolutely do that. You won't like it though. Like, but go
Oh,
ahead, do it. Like,
yeah, try it out. All you need is an X-Acto blade and prayers
yeah,
and spray paint.
yes,
There you go.
and yeah.
And paper.
I mean, I've been doing this for a long time, and I even mess up, and I'll be cutting a stencil like 4 hours in, and I mess up, and I just gotta walk away. But I know how to fix a lot of things. Tape,
Oh,
like
Tape
tape.
is huge.
But I do know how to fix a lot of things, and it's just because it's trial and error. When you're working with razor blades, one wrong move, and you've
Oh,
cut something that is,
very detailed.
yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, like anytime I go into a very detailed painting, I just have to be in a very like positive, happy mindset.
Find that zen.
Yes, because yeah, I will be screaming and then like
No.
there has been a few times where I had to just stop cutting a stencil and just do it the next day. I'm like, I'm too tired.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've already been doing this for a few hours. I need to stop.
Mhm.
And
I feel a mess up coming
yeah,
on. Oh
it's
gosh. I have that too.
There's a lot of that.
I get that with printmaking when you're carving the linoleum because you just want to keep going and keep
Yeah.
carving, and then it's just like, nope, nope. I'm
Yeah.
gonna fuck this
Yeah.
up. I'm gonna fuck it up, and I know I am. So it's just knowing when you need to walk away
Yes.
and take that break. So
And it's very frustrating when you're
Mhm.
almost done
yes,
and you're like, I need to stop.
yeah.
Like it's
But you're so close.
yes.
And so you're battling the good feeling of getting it done, but knowing that you might
Yeah.
mess up in
yeah.
in those steps. So
Like, but it's always good because my body will wake me up at 4:30.
finish.
Yeah.
Yes.
You never think like I need to make this simpler, or no,
No.
it is what it is.
Yes.
Right?
And that is that is the one main reasons I don't do more drag queens is because their hair
It's-
has
Ooh.
so many details.
Yeah, I was looking at a couple of pieces here, and the hair oftentimes is
It's always the hair.
very intricate.
It's always the hair.
But it's done so beautifully.
Yeah, it's cool once it's done, but
Yeah.
yeah, the road to get there is very complicated.
This might be a dumb question, but do you use are there multiple stencils per each piece, or is it all one?
Yeah. So most of my paintings are 3 layers. Most of them. Like the one with the girl with the pink hair.
Mhm.
Every color on that one was a different stencil.
Okay.
So yeah, anytime you see a different color, that's a different stencil.
Wow. Okay. And then I see the complexity here.
Yeah.
Yes. And then words. Ugh.
Oh yeah, cutting words is another pain.
Yeah.
Just like hair.
Just
It's like calligraphy almost.
Yeah, because like if you make a wrong cut in a word, it's very obvious.
because
Like
you're reading
you're
it.
reading it,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. And that's awful with printmaking. Except, you have to do it backwards. So yeah, it's that
oh
additional
yeah,
carving it backwards, but making it still the right shape because they're gonna read it. So
yeah.
I know that too well. Yeah, words. You try and avoid words when you're cutting anything out.
Yeah.
So
I've had a lot of requests for people with like face tattoos and stuff, and I'm like,
oh
Ooh.
goodness.
I would love
Yeah.
to. I would love to do Post Malone, but I literally cannot.
Ooh.
Oh.
I'm like,
Your hands cramping just thinking
Yes.
about it. Oh,
I'm like, unless you want a giant, I will do a giant Post Malone because I feel like that was the only way to do those details.
True.
But yeah,
do 'em huge.
but yeah, I don't know who wants like a 4 foot by 4 foot Post Malone painting.
You'd be
But
surprised.
if you do, I will do
Hey.
that.
Speaking of doing it huge,
Yes.
our next question might involve that. So, if time and money are no object, what's your dream project?
Oh, I don't really know.
Do you find yourself going, "Oh man, I wish I could, but I just don't have any time," or "No, that's too expensive"?
Or if arthritis wasn't a thing.
Yeah, we can also
Yeah.
include that.
Yeah.
Well, I think
And-
if money wasn't an issue, I would just stock up on spray paint and X-Acto blades and cutting boards. I go through a
Yeah.
lot of stuff.
Oh
Like
yeah.
I've spent so much money on spray paint, and spray paint's not cheap.
It
Right? Like
is.
art supplies are just not cheap. Period. But
Mhm.
yeah, X-Acto blades. I go through a lot of those, and like the cutting boards, I destroy. They're self-healing. I destroy those.
That is some.
Like,
They're self-healing?
They're,
Yeah.
What?
So it means
does
that
that work?
they're supposed to, once you put a slice in it, it's supposed to like mend.
Is this
Yeah.
like rubber?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, not like rubber. It's
I don't know. It's like a
Goo?
plastic.
no, it's
Not
solid. It's like a
plastic.
hard.
It's like a foamy plastic. I don't know.
It's weird.
I don't know how
Yeah.
to explain that.
Yeah. They're
But you cut it, and
yeah,
it
they're
like
green.
goes back until you cut it a lot, and
Then they're just
There
shredded.
comes a point.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah, that's a
and
load
that
of.
point comes very fast when you're a stencil artist. Like,
So
but yeah, if I didn't have money issues or whatever,
yeah. No,
oh yeah, I would definitely stock up on spray paint, all the supplies. If time wasn't an issue, I think honestly my dream is just to wake up every day at 4:30 in the morning or whatever, and just to do art, like to not ever stop. Like, I feel like I do a lot of paintings and I have to take a break if they don't sell like right away.
Mhm. Cool off period.
Yeah, which happens because I do have a lot of people that buy the same people that buy paintings from me, and I'm like, I've heard a few times they're running out of room. And I'm like, I bet you
Yeah.
have like 7 of my paintings now. I'm like, I don't know where you're putting them. Like,
Hanging them up in the bathroom,
Yeah.
hang them in the hall closet. Love seeing them.
yeah, I think if money and time was not an issue, I would just do this
Just
all the time. Just yeah. I mean, I would love to say I would love to go bigger, but I've done like big paintings. They're a pain in the ass.
Right.
But I still would love to do. The bigger ones are a pain. It's because when I'm cutting, I have to get on my knees and cut.
Ooh.
Yeah, and if you mess up,
Big broad strokes
yeah,
of
if you
cutting.
mess up
Ooh.
a 4 foot by 4 foot stencil, it hurts so much more.
No.
Those usually take like a few days to cut. But yeah, like I mean, to do like murals that like Shepherd Ferry does that size, to have like a whole team, like to do a whole like a giant building in
Mhm.
New York or whatever. I would love to do that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Would you have any plans for like maybe a show or just get a grouping of your work displayed?
What now?
Well, sure, yeah.
Or in Dream
Well, just-
Fantasy Land.
yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, I've done a few in the past. That's I'm always open to that.
Aw.
Those are will say when I do a show, I take them very seriously. I get like stressed out. Like
Mhm.
last year when I was starting to do all the celebrity paintings, I did it's called the iconic art show. I did it at Fusion. And I was posting everything online as I was finishing them, and everybody was like messaging me like, "Hey, can I buy that?" I'm like, "No, it's for an art show.
Give
I'm
me
trying
a
to
month
build
or
up
two.
for it." Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you could buy it if you go to this
Yeah,
event and
right.
support
yeah.
me there.
And let me tell you, as an artist that wasn't selling, like turning down people,
Ooh, yeah.
Oh.
turning down money
Oh man.
felt very wrong,
Mhm.
but it paid off.
Yeah.
Like, it paid off. Like those people did show up and
Oh,
they
good.
did buy. Yeah.
You can always slap a not for sale sticker on it.
Yeah,
Just,
but-
hey, look at it. You can't own it, but hey, look
Yeah.
at it.
And it felt, yeah, I was so nervous, like telling
Oh.
people like, no, you can't buy that. And even now I'm very strict on how I do things. I try to be as fair as possible. Like I'll
Mhm.
tease whatever I'm working on,
Yeah.
and people will message me. Like they won't even see the painting. I'm just teasing the stencil, and I'll get messages like, can I buy that?
It's not even done yet.
I'm like, it's not done. Like, and I'm like, yeah, you can't get, a pass. You have to wait. I'm
Yeah.
like, you have to wait till it's posted officially.
Yes.
Like, and even now I've gotten into doing like videos for TikTok and Instagram Reels, and people have messaged me, and I'm like, it's not technically posted.
Yeah. It's not
Like,
up for grabs yet.
I do things very weird. I try to like run my socials like an influencer kind of. I'm taking notes from them. So like I'll tease paintings now that I won't post for like another month and a half maybe.
Yeah.
What happened to this one?
Yeah.
It's in my back pocket.
Yeah, it's like my evil plan. Like I have you hooked. You want to see that painting, but you won't see it for another month and a half. So you're gonna have to watch my page
Aw.
and just
Well, it's
like
working.
everything else I post.
Yeah.
Like,
It's the system, dude.
Yeah.
and like so yeah, I've taken notes from influencers and how they run things, and it's worked.
Oh, nice. Love to hear that. So what is the funniest comment or a funny story that you've had pertaining to your art?
Okay. I did a show in Waukegan.
Mhm.
And by this time I was already promoting my art with the quotes, like, it goes in with the whole art is dead gimmick thing. It's all a gimmick to me, like anti-artist, whatever.
Anti-artist artist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Like, the phrase art is dead has made so many people mad. And when I originally started that, it was because I was doing a little bit more like spooky art. So
Mhm.
I was like, it's kind of like a play on that. It was also an interview with Smashing Pumpkins, the guitarist. When they broke up, he ended the interview saying, "Art is dead," and it struck a chord in me. And so yeah, and it all blended. I kind of like did it all. Like I was like, I'm gonna do this gimmick thing, like anti-artist, kind of like more punk rock style, whatever.
Mhm.
So I did a show in Waukegan and I was like promoting it. Like, is it art? This lady walks in. She didn't know anything about me. Just looks at what I had on the wall and she's like, "This is art?"
Oh
Ooh.
And then she walked
no.
out and I was like, "Thank you for confirming it."
Yes.
And I love it. And I was like,
Uh,
it's not for you and that's fine. But I was like,
yes.
yeah. I was like, that just confirmed. It made me laugh so much.
Validation.
like,
Yeah.
yes.
I was
Art is
like,
dead.
yeah.
Yes.
And like, yeah. Like, if you want whatever,
Yeah.
it's somewhere
That
else.
perspective
Yeah.
and that thought process, go right ahead.
But yeah.
So.
So for me, that was like one of the greatest compliments.
Oh. Backhanded
Yeah, I was
compliment?
like, yeah, like she was so mad. She walked out, and I was like, yes,
Yes,
it, you know?
go. Yes, go. Oh, we love that.
That's so funny. All right, we're getting to our last question here.
Oh.
Yes.
What are some of your thoughts about the local art community? You know, what are strengths, weaknesses, things we need to improve
Um,
as you see it?
Yeah.
I think the art community is pretty awesome. Kenosha does have a lot of different artists. We all are like our own thing. Like I know people like Jill and my friend Dove and Jason Hedman and Michelle Renee. I'm just gonna name drop all my
Oh,
friends.
good.
Do
Yeah,
it. Do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, Dove Page Anthony, Jill Gorzelski,
Spooky Jill.
Wazowski.
Wazowski, Jill Wazowski, Jason Hedman, Michelle Renee. Yeah, so many different other like so many great people. Katie Wallner, who does Hot Mess
Mhm.
Studio. Speaking of like abstract, she's like a secret weapon.
No.
Like she'll do like that spin art thing, but then she has like these really like detailed abstracts.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you definitely did not do that spin art. That's definitely like
You
she's like
did
a little
something else with that.
like she's a secret weapon. Like
Mhm.
people definitely have to check her art out.
Yeah. Katie, if you're listening, we're gonna get you on. Check
Yes.
your inbox.
Yes. You are on our list.
But yeah, like the art community is pretty awesome. I feel like it's growing. Something we might need is more audience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
definitely.
that's, I don't know how to get that. I know I've struggled over the years with finding my audience, and I feel like in the last like 2 years, I probably have, and I continue to grow that audience. And so, yeah, maybe just more
Art appreciators.
Art
Yeah.
appreciators.
Yes.
Where are my art appreciators? Let yourself be heard out
Yes.
there.
We need more Jakes.
But I definitely do think like there's just probably people that appreciate art, but they don't know how to find the art.
Yeah.
So maybe a,
Yeah.
a way
So maybe
to,
a podcast like this.
Yeah, like-
Yeah.
but yeah, like the podcast, the art market,
Mhm.
all
Yeah.
those things. I think those are great. I think they're gonna get bigger. The art box, the Lemon Street
Mhm.
Gallery
Oh.
box, stock the box.
Yes.
Please do.
Yeah, I think the only thing, the next step, I think would probably be more like art pop-up events in places that wouldn't normally have art events.
Right.
Yeah. Exploring different audiences and
Making it accessible. You know, it can
Yeah.
feel like, an insular thing and I'm not part of that. Or they don't want me, but
Yeah.
we
We
do.
do.
And we're going to bring it to you.
yes.
Yeah. So I was thinking like I used to do the art walks in Waukegan. I think they still do them.
I think they do.
Yeah. So maybe if we had something like that, like once a month, like I don't
Yeah.
know if we could shut down downtown.
Yeah.
I don't know. They do car shows. I feel
Yeah.
like art shows,
Why not?
like a car show.
They could do it for a car show.
Yeah.
Heck, why can't we do it for art?
Yeah.
like something like
So-
that. I don't know. If we just did like pop ups in the stores downtown,
yeah.
I don't know.
That'd be
Yeah,
pretty
more
cool.
involvement.
There's, I mean, yeah, I feel like that would be the way to do it. Like pop-ups. That way you can promote the business.
An art crawl.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
I've done, yeah, art crawl.
No.
I've done like art walks. Like my first solo art show was in a Mexican restaurant.
I love that.
Like, and it felt very punk rock and
Yeah.
all
Oh
that.
my
And that's why I'm
gosh.
like, I think Kenosha needs some of that energy, like
Yes.
very punk rock energy. Like do a pop up, like
Yeah.
yeah, all the places. Like
That sounds cool.
Mike Bjorn's, buy
Yeah.
some socks and some art.
Ah,
Like I don't know.
Everywhere
Like,
is improved with art.
Yeah.
yes.
And there's so many local artists that you don't have to just buy a stock image to put on your wall if you're decorating an office or
Yes.
something. You can reach out to local artists and
Yeah.
get actual like things with stories in your
Yes.
yeah.
in your place of business.
See, I think that's the problem. I think the people probably want the art, but they don't know how to get it,
Mhm.
even
Mhm.
though we have galleries and
Yeah.
Right.
I don't, you know.
And we have an art core program here at Lemon Street, so you can sign up your business, and we change out the art quarterly, so you can have changing local art.
Yeah.
And so, yes,
Yeah, art is about connecting,
Yeah.
and that's what we need to do is connect people more. So
Yeah.
connect people more. Yes, words.
come together,
I think,
right?
yeah, I think it's just you gotta trick people into
Yeah,
Yes.
maybe it'll take that, you know?
really,
don't know.
really need
So that's
this.
how I feel like I've done it. I feel like I've tricked people into appreciating art
Good.
by selling them their favorite celebrity.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
If you buy this painting, you will in return make millions and millions of more money
Yeah.
by having this painting.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I think just take a more punk rock approach to
Yeah.
doing things.
Totally.
Like I would love more pop-up events. I definitely do think the art market and the box and all the things
No.
that are available now are great, but I think I
Blow
think
it
it's
up.
like I said, they have
Blow
car
it.
shows. Like why
Yeah.
not? I don't care about cars. They look cool, but I don't care.
Mhm.
Like I'd rather have like a whole downtown filled with different artists like to look. I mean, yeah. Be like check out the motor on that painting. You know,
Love that.
like-
Have you seen the
Yes.
one by Jill in
Yeah.
this place?
Wow, wow, wow.
yeah.
I'd purchase that one. Alrighty. Well, where can people find you and your wonderful, wonderful pieces of art?
I'm everywhere.
You are everywhere.
I'm on Facebook. Okay, so easiest way to find me is Art is Dead Productions. It's on Facebook. It is on Instagram. It is on Twitter. It's on TikTok.
Ooh.
It's on. I'm on a new website called Vero.
Okay.
I don't know what that is. Nobody knows
Yeah.
what that is. I'm following like 2 people, and one of those people is Madonna.
Oh.
Whoa.
So yeah, join Vero and
Find you on it. Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, I'm on all of those. Just search Artist Dead Productions.
You can get a shirt too.
Yeah,
You've got shirts.
I have merch. I have
Yeah.
art. I have whatever.
So much goodness.
You got a lot.
Yeah.
And we love it.
But
Um,
also stock the box in
Yes.
October.
Yes.
I'm doing a drop once a week. I think. Oh, I have 4 of them, so whatever.
Whatever that works out to be. Yeah. Either way, stock it.
Either way, stock the box because I'm sure there's gonna be other artists using that,
Mhm.
and I really hope they do.
And if you're an artist, put some stuff
Yeah,
in there
if you're an
too.
artist,
Little
please.
tiny art.
Like
Yes.
I keep saying it, I'm driving people there. People who didn't know it existed are going there, so it's very smart for you to drop some art
Yes.
off right now. Like,
It'll be fun. You'll get your work in the hands of other people. Spread the word.
yeah.
So, yes. And you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, the ArtSpace Pod, and you can find us wherever you get your podcasts: Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, our own gosh dang YouTube channel. So you can find us anywhere.
Yeah, reach out. We want to hear
Yes.
from you and follow us and
Give
all
us
that
feedback.
good stuff.
Yes, the
And
usual.
Korye too.
Yes, and the usual spiel, and yes, yes, yes.
Do it and check back next week.
Yes. So, and I think that about wraps it up for this episode.
Thanks so much for joining us, Korye.
Thank you for having me. It's so cool.
Yes.
It was a blast.
Alrighty, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.
Depression, addiction, the thrill that you seek. Our restlessness cages the fire we need. We're here to inspire.